like astonished by the kind of developments in that town, Abreba. So another one was when I visited Ngo. Ngo is a Ngo is a town in Enugu State. Actually, let's say if you're coming from Oka investment, people are throwing in. Like because of it's very close to the Enugu main town, so people like Enugu main town seems to be like I mean, the landmass of Enugu is not that really like Enugu town in general. I'm not talking about Enugu in general. I'm talking about Enugu City.
But yeah, man, I think this is the first time we ever spoke. We messaged back and forth a few times, but this is the first meeting of the minds. How are you going? How are you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good.
Cool.
Good.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm just happy that we, like I said, have an opportunity to speak. I've been watching your channel since the beginning. And I think you've done something very important in expanding the old way we saw Eboh land, but not just Eboh land as a whole, Africa, right? You've traveled to West Africa and so forth. So I think you've played a major role. To my knowledge, and I'm pretty sure on this, you're a pioneer in what you're doing. I see a whole bunch of other people trying it. And you're most definitely a pioneer in that. So I thought that it's time that we sit down and speak, and hopefully I can learn a little bit more about you as a person and as a creator. I wanted to ask you how you got started as far as Eboh Media.
Anyway, it all started from China, early age. Hello.
Yes,
can you hear me now? Hello.
Yeah. And then it's raining where you're at, correct?
Yeah, it's actually raining.
Yeah, I think that's probably what's giving the issue. Do you want to try again for a different day?
When tomorrow is okay for you?
It's okay for me. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, not tomorrow, but the day after.
Now the network is good. Now we are talking very well. When one of the serious, you get that? When one of the serious
Yeah, no problem, man. Okay, so let's go ahead. No problem. We'll see what we can do, and when the rain decides enough is enough, then enough is enough, right? So, Eboh, I want to first and foremost, I think this is the first time we've ever spoken, right?
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
But I've been watching your channel for a long time. We've messaged back and forth a few times. So it's an honor to have you here, man. How are you feeling?
My pleasure. Like I'm really pleased to be here. Seriously.
Cool.
I appreciate you continuing to.
Awesome. Appreciate that. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm reaching out to individuals for the New Yam celebration. This is New Yam season, right? And the way we're celebrating it as far as a community on the Medicine Shell is I wanted to reach out to individuals who are fitting a theme that I see as the general theme of this year, right? Which is doing things in a new way. You understand? One of the things I like about your channel is because it gives us an opportunity to see not just Igbo land, but much of Africa in an entirely different light. Because the way you present it, whether you're on the ground interacting with people or
True,
whether
true.
you're
Yeah.
giving us the drone shots. I remember years ago, like there was no Ebo city you would Google, and the only image you would see would be like a pile of trash and a car accident. You understand? And people like
True.
yourself are helping change
True.
that. So, how did you get started?
Actually, it all started when I was studying back in Asia.
Mm,
Like most times when we miss home, the only way we connect back to home is like when we go to our YouTube, we search for a video. But most
yeah,
times, the kind of videos we see, like maybe some people are like in beer parlor or maybe like somewhere doing their thing. It's not like a professional video or something like that. It was just like a clip or one or two like that. So when you watch that, you will feel connected. Exactly. I mean, like if actually you have left home for a very long time, maybe like 2 or 3 years, So when you watch that little clip, you kind of like resonates from have this kind of nostalgia about your home and all that kind of stuff. So that made me like, okay, man, this is like a really, because I know like there are thousands of Nigerians in diaspora, like being way up from home for a very long time. So, I mean, this will be a very useful thing to start doing. Like, I'm the type that love Africa. I've traveled and I came to realize that at the end of the day, nowhere like home. No matter where you are, if you're outside home, no matter the kind of title you have outside your home, at the end of the day, your home is your home. That you feel that like, I mean, I still want to come back home. I'm proud of my home. This kind of stuff. So I felt like, okay, I think this is something like I'm so passionate about. And so I started learning the skills of videography, cinematography, pictures, how to record angles and all that kind of stuff. So I learned all that thing. I came back, so I started like portraying our state. I started from Southeast actually. Then from Southeast, I entered South, some of the Southwest like Lagos. Then I went to West Africa. So far it's just all around. So like it all started just basically from Asia, and I'm so passionate about like promoting Nigeria and also putting Africa in the map. So basically that's just it.
no, you're definitely doing that. The way you felt, the way, because a lot of it is the pride you have of who you are, where you're from, and you see value and beauty in it. You understand that maybe people don't see right away. Did you feel that and see that when you lived at home, or did it kind of kick in when you moved away?
It actually started when I was away from home. You know,
Okay.
yeah, it started from when I was away from home. The connection and the feelings to do more. Like, I really want to put out like Africa as a whole because of this narration about Africa. Wherever you travel to, Africa seems to be like the minority around the globe and all that kind of stuff. And I look at it like Africa is not just Africa is that bad, just that it has been the only bad thing that's been portraying in the media and all kind of stuff.
Right. Right.
So I was like, okay, we have a lot of good stuff here. Why not? Okay, let's just focus on those stuff and also show the world that we also have quality stuff in Africa. Everything that comes out from Africa mustn't be a very negative stuff. We also actually have positive things that are even more than the negative stuffs in Africa and all that kind of stuff. So that's the motive right there.
No, 100%. It's interesting too. I would love to see a situation where more people can realize what they have while they're at home. Because it's very common for us to now see these things once we move. You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah. I'm
Right.
sorry. I'm sorry to cut you short because if you are home and if you have never been outside Nigeria, I don't think it's going to be possible for you to realize like there is a lot you are missing out or something like that because of the civility and all that kind of stuff. We have been positioned in kind of a way, in kind of a mental reasoning, like this is the way things are supposed to be. But when you
Yeah.
get out
Yeah.
from Africa, Nigeria, especially like let's just put when you travel and experience all kinds of lifestyle, all kinds of experiences, you get to know that like life doesn't really revolve around your own belief. it's a very vast belief. So that way you get to understand, like, okay, there's a lot to be done for Africa. There's a lot to be done. And also then you realize that there are also some mistakes around in Africa. But we don't want to talk about the mistakes today. We just talk about the positive stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, there's value in, you know, if somebody gives you a box and you live inside that box, you understand, you'll have one perspective, but if you live outside of that box, you'll have another. If you step in and
Simple.
out of both, you understand,
That's a
you'll
simple
now see
definition.
the big picture. Yeah,
That's a
definitely.
simple
So,
definition. Yeah.
yeah, so and I think what you're doing is you're giving people a chance to see that good without having to take off somewhere else and then, you know,
Exactly.
try to come back and all that stuff. So man, that's wonderful. So you've traveled like the whole of West Africa, and that's a personal goal of mine. That's something that I want to be doing. So I'm here for the stories, man. Tell me what that whole experience was like.
Actually, it's quite challenging traveling in West Africa because most of the West African countries do speak French. I'm not that fluent with French. I don't understand French. I don't speak French. So it was during the time of a travel that I get to understand just few words, like few sentences in French. So the challenge there is the language barrier. But apart from that, we all have like like almost the same culture, the way of reasoning, the way of lifestyle, the way of reasoning especially. So it's actually the same thing. So I started my Western African trip from Benin Republic. I went to Cotonou, then went to the capital of Benin Republic, then which is what was the name again? Sorry,
I
skip
think
my
maybe
mind. Then
Porto Novo, but I'm not sure. I think maybe Porto Novo. Is it
yeah,
Porto
Porto
Novo?
Novo. Yeah, Porto Novo.
Yeah,
That's the capital. But Cotonou is more popular in Benin
yeah,
Republic.
yeah,
But
yeah.
Porto Novo is the capital of Benin Republic. So after that, which I went to Togo, Lome, Togo, which is the capital. So actually, like, it's still the same lifestyle. Everything is still the same. The culture, like that foundational discipline among Africa is still the same thing, no difference. So from Togo, I went to Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast. Then I went to Ivory Coast. From Ivory Coast, I went to Gambia. Then from Gambia, I went to what's the name of the other one?
I saw you
Ouagadougou.
in Mali. I think you were in
Ouagadougou is
Mali.
in instead.
Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso.
Yeah, Burkina Faso. Yeah, Mali was in Ouagadougou. Yeah, so that was it.
Okay.
So there are still some West African countries left. Still yet to travel to,
Cool.
but it's part of the goal. So we keep on pushing hard to put Africa in the limelight.
Wonderful. So the thing that like people, because like my audience is very mixed, right? And one of the things that I try to communicate is there is somehow a uniformity in Africa, but at the same time, a lot of difference. And both of those things have to be embraced in order to get kind of the full picture. You understand? So as far as the things you saw that were the same, I can go ahead and assume, like you said, a lot of the ethics and the culture, and the discipline and the mentality towards certain things. What were some things that you saw that were different as you traveled from like maybe what you knew at home?
Mm, I would say the food.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I would say the food.
Hello.
uh, uh, what is? I don't think there's much difference
So
actually.
you didn't see
Like,
too much
I
difference.
don't think
Yeah.
there's much difference. Like, let's just say from the way the city looks like.
Yeah.
Like some are more developed than the other in terms of development and infrastructure.
Yeah.
Some are more developed, and the language is different. When you go to Togo, from Togo you go to somewhere like Mali, you won't like necessarily see the difference because they both speak the same language, like French. They both
Yeah.
communicate with the same language. So like during my travel, most of my travel wasn't like with air. It was
Okay.
land. It was land travel. So when I get to a particular border, the only difference is that there are policemen across the border. Once you pass, it's still the same thing, like the way people talk, the way people dress, and all that kind of stuff. So for me, I don't really see any difference, just apart from the language and also the food, and also the development of a specific city or each city. So the development are not equal. Some are better than the other. So that's just it.
Wow, wonderful. That's awesome. So yeah, I think the perspective is a lot more different when you drive or when you're moving on land as opposed to air, because the even if there were differences, it's so incremental that by the time you get to a new country, you don't even notice. You understand? It's only those
Yes.
policemen or maybe the sign that will tell you that you're in a new place. But
Right.
in my own studies and my own journey, it's I'm coming closer and closer to this conclusion that we are in essence the same people. You understand? I'm coming to
Yeah.
this conclusion that everything is pointing me to that direction. That if I look into Eboh culture and these things and I understand it well, when I go to Togo, if I go to Sierra Leone, all of a sudden I'm going to start seeing, you know what I'm saying, the same thing that I was looking at over there. So that's dope that you saw that live. So I wanted to ask you, because a big part of what you do is perspective. Okay, is like is changing perspective or giving people a different perspective on things that maybe they knew, right, but they haven't seen it that way. Like I've seen, like you gotta go to your comments and they'll be like, I'm from this place, I didn't even know it looked like this. You understand? So I wanted to ask you, why is that important?
Why is perspective very
Perspective,
important?
yeah, yeah.
Uh, it's actually very important because at the initial time, right from time, like we weren't in charge of our own story. People do tell our story, like especially mostly foreigners, and I don't think they have the right to tell our story like correctly the way we can.
Yeah.
So that's the perspective there. So when we tell our own story, we have this kind of perspective we bring into our story to like making it the right story, the true story to tell people, not like what other people portray us to be or what they imagine or what they think.
Right.
That's the way Africans do that stuff. So when we tell a story, we try to bring up that perspective of like, this is actually who we are. This is what we stand for. This is actually the way it is, not like the way it has been told it was. I don't know whether you understand what I mean, right? So
No,
actually,
100%. Yeah.
yeah. So that's just the fact. So perspective is really very important when you tell a story about Africa, because that way you get to make the story your own and also to show the real and the unique differences you have with other people. So that's the perspective.
Yeah, no, I love, like, for example, now, like I was watching the last video of yours I was watching was the video in Eboh where you went to, it was an island, like a vacation island, and this and like theme parks and all this stuff. Like they had like a water park, or I don't know if I'm saying the right video. There was like a water park there, everything like that. And then like most people that aren't from that, or many people from that are not from that community, don't know that that is there, that they have that option to go and enjoy and do that thing. You understand? They
Okay.
get into the idea that you maybe have to leave Africa, or that we don't have
Okay.
these such a thing. You understand? And
Yeah.
everywhere you've shown all these wonderful things. One of the videos I liked was when you were traveling through Aba. I don't know if you
Okay.
remember that experience when you're traveling to Aba, and I think you were speaking to the manufacturers, the people making shoes and those different
Okay.
things. Yeah, can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because I think that is something that not enough people are aware of, and if they were aware, it would most definitely change their perspective on what's possible at home.
So in terms of the above vlog, what I did there was trying to interact with the people producing the leather products, because for a very long time that industry has been there for a very long time. It has been there and it has been ignored by everybody, not just the government. You understand? Not just the government. So why is it has been ignored by everybody? Because most times when we want to buy our shoes, bags, and all that kind of stuff, we always think the foreign made. We always
Yeah.
think outside. That's where
Gucci
we're
and
going
Versace.
that's where we're going to get the best product and all that kind of stuff. But within our home is much, much affordable. Those things are not really here in our home. That all the good things that you have to get should be like outside or should be imported. But from that video, the most surprising thing is like these people do these things with their bare hands. It was very, very interesting to see like our people manufacturing leather products like shoes, sandals, bags, and all kind of leather products. So it was really, really amazing interacting with them, watching them while they do their work from scratch to the finish, just with their bare hands. So, like I was saying, like if we, we as a citizen can also also help out without depending much on the government, which is by helping this industry by patronizing them once they are done with their products, instead of like looking elsewhere, looking outside for importation, imported products. Let's just patronize our people, buy the stuff they produce. That way, we are making the economy stronger. So we don't necessarily have to depend on the government to do everything for us. When we come together, stick to one, and patronize these local products, we are doing good for ourselves. Not just in terms of the shoe industry in Aba, there are also some other industry doing very well in all parts of Nigeria. That if we as a citizens can try to start patronizing them and doing the needful, I think everything will be better.
Nice. No, I know, I like that, and I like that you highlighted that too, because again, a lot of people don't know these things are available. I mean, I've spent most of my life abroad, and one of the things that used to annoy me is that when you go to the airport, you'll know who's a Nigerian because they'll be carrying like, I mean, the baggages will be like at least up to 8 or 10. You understand? And the bags themselves are filled with things. The bags themselves are filled with things that they make at home, and the quality of it at home is better. You know, somebody will have one bag full of shoes that they're going to give people, another person will, or the same person will have another one of clothes they're going to give to people, and then they get there, and the quality of the ones they're making at home are even better than the ones you're bringing into Dash. You understand?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
to say that, okay, I came from abroad, I have money, or so whatever you're trying to do. So that's one of the things that used to annoy me when I was at the airport. But it was very consistent when you always know it was a Nigerian when they came with the cart to carry their bags instead of using just their hand. So,
Wow,
yeah,
that's actually,
but
but
good.
that's true. That's true though.
Yeah. So it's again, anybody who can highlight those things, you're doing a huge service to the country as a whole. I wanted to ask something because there's something that you kind of your videos highlight or reveal. And most of the time, you know, we use the term village to speak of a lot of our towns and things like that, like, oh, I'm going back to the village, this and that. But one of the things your videos showed is that,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't get you. What did you say?
okay, I'll start again. Yeah. So
Okay.
there's one thing that's really interesting about your videos, or one thing that you highlighted very early. And it was the fact that a lot of these places we call villages are not villages anymore. They're towns, right? So somebody can say, oh, I'm going to the village, and the village is Ihiala. And then you look at their video of Ihiala, and this place looks like, I mean, it's very built up. Um, and I wanted to ask you, you know, kind of as somebody who's on the ground and somebody who's literally seeing this from a bird's eye view, um, to kind of give more information on that, or speak a little bit on like the amount of growth that's happening at home, because it's very rapid. I don't think it's hard to imagine anywhere else where it's happening. Okay, you're frozen right
Okay.
now,
I think I understand where you are
so I don't
going.
know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I think I understand where you're coming from. You're talking about the fast developing villages around southeastern Nigeria, right? Okay. Actually, it's breaking, but I think I understood what you meant. You are talking about the village that are fast developing so far, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So I will start with okay. Let's talk about Oba. I believe I think let me just put it like this. I think 5 years ago, not everybody knows Oba, right? Nobody knows Oba.
Yeah.
Oba it seems to be like a village only known by the individuals of Oba, people living in Oba. You understand? But come to think of it today, Oba is kind of like a very popular town right now in Anambra State, not just in Anambra State. So I think out of Anambra State, it's more popular out of Anambra State. So because of the fast developing infrastructure coming up there, like I grew up in Onitsha. So I know then I was growing up, Oba seems to be like it seems to be like a very typical village. But when you visit Oba today now, you get to find out that Oba is a very kind of like a major town, like where there are a lot of residential buildings, not just residential buildings, like residential buildings with good quality structures. Like you see big mansions, you see like lots of infrastructures, kind of like a hospital and petrol station, all those kind of stuff that make up a city. Basically, you find it right now, but and the funny thing is now, right now, like to get a land in Urbana is quite expensive, unlike the way it used to be now, because Oba seems to be like a very, like, if you're really into real estate, Oba is a nice place to like kind of like invest right now, because it's every day keeps appreciating. I mean, the land keeps appreciating. People keep coming into the town and building a lot of structures. So Urban right now is kind of like a very, very fast developing town. So for me, when I got to Abriba, it was a very, very surprising thing for me, because the very first time I visited the place, like I was very, very astonished by the kind of beauty the town has. There are these kind of mansions being built in Abriba. Like you get to like you be wondering, like, is this actually a village? Because I've been to some other villages and I found out that like Abriba has they have this kind of different mentality, the way they do think about the village. It's not like the way other people do think about the village. Like they do invest in their village. So I get to see a lot of like hospital. I'm not just talking about small hospital. I'm talking about like a public hospital, a very big public hospital for the villages, for the people, for the villagers in the community, and they have like a standard secondary schools, and the buildings there of that's the kind of stuff you find in the city, not just in the village. So I'm so much like astonished by the kind of developments in that town, Abreba. So another one was when I visited Ngo. Ngo is a Ngo is a town in Enugu State. Actually, let's say if you're coming from Oka, is actually from Oka. I think from Oka 90 mile is actually the first village you get to see before you start going deep inside Enugu State. So Ngo is kind of like a very a tourist attraction site for people, for tourists. But right now, I don't know, is it because of that, but the place is really, really developing a lot. The real estate there is going up high every day. The investment, people are throwing it in, like because of it's very close to the Enugu main town. So people like Enugu main town seems to be like I mean, the landmass of Enugu is not that really like Enugu town in general. I'm not talking about Enugu in general. I'm talking about Enugu city specifically. The landmass seems to not be that big. So people are really coming out from Enugu, and Ngo is a very close proximity from Enugu. So people are really like really interested to buy land. Which other city? Okay, like when I visited Afi, when you think about Afipo, you think you be thinking Afipo is a very typical village. But Afipo is not a typical village. So when I got there, I realized there are like in some industries, they have all these rock industry. They have I think a rubber industry. Then we talk about the major industry there, which is the farming industry. Like there are a lot of farmers there. There are a lot of fishermen there, and also like I'm also surprised with the kind of buildings, because most times when I travel, I this is my own personal opinion. When I travel, most times I judge places based on the kind of structures they have in that place, and also how the road looks like, how tight the road looks like. I know this is not like the main thing to judge how a city is developed, but it is what it is. Right now, we are talking about Nigeria. We know how Nigeria is. So when I visit these places, I'm not really expecting that place to be that good, the road to be that nice, to see a lot of fine structures, fine buildings. But I think what really surprised me, I get to see like there are resorts, a lot of resorts, like very beautiful resorts in Afibo, because the Afibo is kind of like a town. They're very close to a river. That river is called I think sorry, sorry, I've forgotten about the name of that river, but Afibo is very close to that river that people find it very, very necessary to invest in resorts there for tourism purpose. But people doesn't know that. People doesn't know there are a lot of nice places that you can go in Afibo and chill. Like you don't even have to think of going to Dubai or even have to think of going to Bali. If there is a proper investment in this kind of areas, man, you see how beautiful our our land is. Our land is really, really blessed. Like we have everything that we seek outside. Everything we seek outside is here in our land. That's there's this popular saying that say what you are looking for in Sokoto is in Sokoto or something like that. So it's just basically like that. Like our land is like it's really blessed, and I was very, very impressed to be in Afibo, and my visit there was very, very fun because I never imagined. Even from Afibo, from there you will get to enter a town in Cross River State. They have this boundary with river. Like I think it's 10 minutes boat ride. Then you get to Cross River. So there is a lot of potentials in these small towns, and people don't really know about that.
Oh yeah, wonderful, wonderful. You know, man, I like I said, I've been a big fan of your channel for a long time. I'm waiting for the Owl Mama video where I'm from, and
Oh, you're from Awon, Mama.
I'm from Owl. Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
was I
So
was I was I was in Awon Mama last week because there is a classmate of mine. He was just ordained a Catholic
okay,
priest. Yeah, he was just ordained a
cool.
Catholic priest. I don't know whether you know about novitiates. I know this is off the topic. Do you know about Holy Ghost novitiates?
No, I don't. I don't. What's that?
Sorry. I want to ask you a personal question. When was the last time you visited Nigeria?
Oh man, the last time I went back was when I got married in 2017. So it's been a while. It's been a long time. It's been a long time.
17 years old now, right? 17 years.
No, no, no. 2017 was the last time I went home.
Oh, 2017. Okay, not that,
Yeah,
not that
yeah,
long.
yeah.
Not that long.
Yeah, you know, everything willing, if everything moves smoothly, I'll be home. I'll be back pretty soon. So, you know, that kind of thing. So, how was your time at Alabama?
It was okay. I think that was last month. I don't know whether I heard so like the insurgency. People killed.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, yeah, yeah.
So that's
We're
that's by the way. But apart from that, our mama has been a very peaceful, a very peaceful town. One thing I like about our mama is like it has a very nice landscape. Like I always drive from Onitsha to Owerri, and whenever I'm going to Owerri, normally I pass our mama. So our mama has this kind of like a very landscape. Whenever I pass it, I will know, okay, this is our mama pass. They have a very beautiful landscape. The land is very fertile, and yeah, it was nice. It was nice being there. I love the atmosphere, especially whenever I visit there. I have this kind of what's it called? Nature vibe. Nature
cool.
vibe.
Nice.
There seems to be no much of a concrete going on there. So everything seems to be like, virgin. So it's nice being out there. It's
Awesome.
nice.
Cool. Yeah, no, I'm glad you liked it. What I was gonna say next is you might want to wait before you make the video for things
You
to
said?
calm down. I said what I was
You
gonna
said?
say next is you might want to wait before you make the video for things to calm down. You know, I think
Okay,
people
okay, okay.
people have lost their
I,
damn
I,
minds out there.
I think things are right. Things are very calm right now. Not
Okay,
really calm, but no, it seems to be calmer now comparing about previous months. I think things are getting back to normal. You know,
good, good,
I think
good.
most people are more interested like in the upcoming election now. That seems to
Yeah,
be
yeah. Everybody's
going down. Yeah.
Pace has switched, so which is not a bad thing. So that being said, Eboh, again, this is for us on the Medicine Shell side to show you appreciation for your work. I wanted to ask you, what's next for the channel? Do you have any projects you're working on, or any ideas for the future of everything you're doing?
Yeah, I have great ideas to put Nigeria at the map. After Nigeria, it's gonna be Africa, then talk about the rest of the world. But my main priority right now is Nigeria. I have a lot of places I want to visit in Nigeria. Okay, just take a look at me as a traveler. Sometimes when I travel and I see some place, I'm surprised, I'm shocked. I'll be like, for real, this is Nigeria. Like, we have such beauty here in Nigeria. Like, I'm surprised. I know I'm a traveler. I've traveled a lot, but sometimes there is this particular place. It might be very close to your home, but you don't know. It
You
might
won't
be
even
very,
know exactly.
but you don't even know that this place is very right at your backyard. So I'll be like, what? Like, just I don't know, like the recent video I just uploaded I just posted on my channel, Abraka. I went to a resort called Abraka Turf and Country Club. Like, that place is kind of like a very beautiful place. Like, when you go there, you'll be thinking like, am I in Bali or am I in somewhere in Hawaii? Because the vibe, the atmosphere is very different. Like, the beauty
Nice.
there, the architecture there is different from what you see from anywhere. So, but that place is very close to you, but you don't know. So I asked a lot of people. Like, it's not just like people outside Abraka. Ask some of the indigenous living in Abraka, like, do you know there is a place here? Some of them will be like, no, I don't know about this place. No, I
Mm,
don't know about this.
there's a resort
It's
even in my
surprising
home.
that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, continue what you're saying.
There's a resort in my hometown, and the only way I found it was Google Earth. You understand?
Imagine.
And it
Yeah,
looks. And I ask people, "Hey, do you guys know about this thing?" No, I've never heard of it. I've never heard of it.
yeah.
That kind of thing. So yeah, go ahead.
It's funny, bro. It's it's really crazy. Like, so what I'm trying to do is this. I'm trying to like go out there to bring out these places to show people like we have a lot of good stuff in this country. Like, we should invest in this country with our sweat and with our mind. You understand? We have to sweat and develop our country. We doesn't necessarily have to do everything outside. All our vacations shouldn't be outside. Maybe once in a while, travel out. That's cool. It's good to experience other lifestyles, but it mustn't be something that you do every time. You mustn't travel outside. Like, if you're looking for a place to cool off, you have it back in your home. Very beautiful places to do those things. And the thing is, like, when these okay, let me use the example as the resort. When these resorts are being unattended, how are they going to prosper, with the business? Like, we need to what I'm trying to say, like, we need to patronize them so they can still be in the business. They will still keep maintaining the resort, all these places for tourism. Because when you don't patronize them, how are you expecting them to get the funds to keep maintaining the place? That's why we already have this mentality that if anything is wrong, we should blame it on the government. But most
Right.
times it's not really that way. We should also try to do our own part and leave the government to do their own part. So basically, I want to travel everywhere in Nigeria. I really want to travel anywhere in Nigeria. Like, by now I should have been traveling to the north, but because of the insecurity in the country, so I'm piping it low. But I know the spirit in me most times are like, that place they say don't go, that's the place I want to go. That's me for you. Like,
So we'll be seeing the Sambisa Forest drone shot pretty soon, I bet.
yeah. If I have the opportunity,
Oh no shit! Wow. Okay.
I'll
No
go for
problem.
I'll no serious, I will go for you. Like, the thing is, like, I know my spirit. I know the spirit that leads me. So when I feel like it's not safe, I will leave. When I feel like, okay, now I want to do this thing, I will go and do
Yeah.
it. That's me.
Okay.
That's me for you. So there is a lot of places I want to visit, and I think I've done much on the southeastern Nigeria and also south Nigeria. So basically, I want to focus more now on the other parts of Nigeria, just to showcase also the other culture and lifestyles or places. So like, I'm more really interested on portraying the places to show to showcase our places, showcase the fun places, the interesting places, our culture, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really interested with people and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's my future plan for now. I'm not going to say everything, but this is majorly what I'm about to do. I'm trying to put Nigeria in the map. After that, then we talk about Africa and the rest of the world.
Wonderful, wonderful. And we're looking forward to seeing it. Your chi is blessing the world through your work. So you are very well appreciated. Before I send you off,
Thank you, bro.
Where can people go to see your work or to see your videos or maybe get a hold of you on social media?
Okay, so my work majorly I post on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Eboh Media on YouTube channel. Then social media on Instagram is Eboh G. On Twitter is Eboh G. So if you really want to get hold of me very fast, get me on Twitter, Eboh G, or on Instagram, Eboh G. Also, you can also check out with me, send me an email very fast on ebohmedia@gmail.com. So it's quite very easy. My personal social handles are Eboh Media. Then my business handles are Eboh Media on YouTube, Eboh Media on Gmail, ebohmedia@gmail.com.
Great. Yeah, I know a lot of people ask me about visiting back home, where they should go, those types of things. So one of the places I point people towards is your channel. Like, take a look and see what you
Okay.
like, and then from there.
That's
So
very nice of you, bro.
awesome. Yeah, and I'll continue doing that. So before I
Thank you
send
so
you
much.
off,
I appreciate it.
definitely, definitely. So before I send you off, I'm going to send you off the proper way and let you know that Igeto, Igade, Mkambala Itiriaka, Gade no Wa, Gade no
Ise,
Nuri,
Ise,
Nankwo,
Ise,
Say, all
Ise,
right.
yeah. Also,
Thank you
I
very
must
much.
say also, I'm really a fan of your work. Like I love what you're doing. Like I love the way
Ooh,
you are, putting out the culture out there. Like you really make our traditional stuff to be very, very interesting. Like when like I've talked with some of my friends, they're also content creators. They also talk about you, like the way you teach us new things about traditions. Like it seems like our forefathers they didn't do anything. Like you are teaching us things from the roots, to the, I don't know how to put it, but you are doing a lot of work. Like I really appreciate what you're doing. Seriously, like going to your channel is an eye opener for a lot of people. And
I appreciate it,
I
man.
must
Thank you.
say, I must say you're doing a lot. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. And we have to find a way to work together in the future.
Exactly.
Somehow, some way. Yeah, we got to find something we can do together. So most definitely. Eboh, thank you very much.
I appreciate, bro. Thank you
Cool.
very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.